So now we're going to show you how to settle the dog, and I'm going to go through a few different options here because some dogs will respond different to different situations. So once the dog started to back up when I closed the door, the next thing I'm going to do is start leaving the dog in there for extended periods. So I'm going to close the door. The dog is going to, generally they'll settle for a little bit, they might wind up again. If the dog winds up a little bit, but then isn't elevating too much, so it elevates a bit, then it de-escalates, I'll just leave that and I'll let the dog just figure it out on its own. If it starts to elevate and just keep going, I'll come back to this drill. So I'll come in, the dog starts to elevate, I'll open the door, I'll close the door on it until it backs up, it settles down, and then I close the crate again. So the concept here is understanding why the dog is playing up is important. Okay, so why is the dog elevating? So the reason the dog is elevating is because it wants to get out and it thinks it's locked in the crate. So by me, it is locked in the crate, but by me opening the door, it shows the dog that the dog can get out, but it also helps with the dog's state of mind to actually de-escalate the dog. So when I open and close the door and set that boundary, the dog goes, oh, even if the door's open, I can't get out. And that concept there is quite important because this is gonna teach the dog the actual understanding of the crate is something you go into, it's a boundary, you don't elevate in there, you stay calm. And this is really gonna help you with de-escalating your dog in a crate. So the next option you can have is if, say, this method isn't working where you're closing the door on the dog. Sometimes what works quite well, is leaving a leash hanging out the side of the crate. You've just got to make sure you're around when you've got this set up because obviously you don't want the dog to accidentally hurt itself by leaving the lead dangling. So you need to be around initially for this training method. But you can, if the dog is conditioned to a correction on the lead, you can just correct the dog on the lead. So say he tried to get out, I could just go, hey, give him a pop on the leash, and that would de-escalate him as well. So that would be another option, assuming your dog is conditioned to a communication system through the lead. So generally what happens when a dog gets elevated is its brain elevates, and the only way to get it out of that state sometimes is to just snap it out. And that's essentially what you're doing with a correction or something that you're adding to the scenario. You're trying to snap the dog out of that thought pattern to get the dog's brain to de-escalate. And that's something that they naturally do with one another in a pack environment, and we're just manipulating that to get the desired result.